Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Happy Friday to everybody. Today here on the channel, I want to talk a little about the NBA draft. And you know, when the NFL draft comes around, I don't go too in depth with it, but I do and I will discuss it. And I usually give you the top 15, 20 picks, and that's about it because there's millions and millions of people all around the world that give their predictions and their point of views and their opinions and go in depth with it. Plus, there's tons of websites talking about it. So I don't want to bore people and oversaturate people with the same stuff you've already heard from numerous people, numerous sources, numerous sites, numerous news boards. Well, today will be the same way. I'm going to give you the top 15 draft picks, but of course you can easily get on any website and find out who all the draft picks were. But just to give you a quick rundown of the top 15 picks, and if I pronounce any of these names wrong, I apologize. It's hard because you can hear their name pronounced 4 or 5 different ways, and you don't know which one is correct. And sometimes you get on the internet and they'll tell you a pronunciation, and it turns out it won't be correct. There was a football player a few years back. I forget what his name was, but he basically played 8 or 9 years and let everybody pronounce his name wrong. And then he came out one day and he said, "That's not my name. My mama says it this way." And by that time, your career is about over with. So if I pronounce any of the names wrong, I'm sorry. But the Hawks got Zachary Risachet, and of course there's also trades and all of this. So go to whatever sports website and sports outlet you trust and read about the draft and find out who is actually playing where and the trades and all that kind of good stuff. Alexander Sarr was drafted by the Wizards. And then we had Reed Sheppard for the Rockets. The Spurs got Stephon Castle. The Pistons got Ron Holland the second. The Hornets drafted Tidjane Sadoon. The Blazers, Donovan Clingan. The Spurs, Rob Dillingham. And the Grizzlies got Zach Edey. And the Jazz got Cody Williams. Matis Buzelis going to the Bulls. Nikola Topic to the Thunder. Devin Carter, the Kings. Carlton Carrington, the Blazers. And Kel'el Ware going to the Miami Heat. And that is the top 15 picks. Of course, the draft was last night and Wednesday night as well. The only other thing I'll even mention about the draft, and I think everybody knew it was going to happen, was that Bronny James going to the Lakers, because LeBron has said for at least 5 years that he wants to play with his son, and you could see this coming a mile away, and that's the reason why they hired J.J. Redick. LeBron James has ran off every coach he's ever had because LeBron wants things his way. LeBron thinks the only person in the world that matters is LeBron, so LeBron has to get his way all the time and be catered to and be pampered to, and when coaches don't do that, he wants them gone. The only coach he could not run off was Eric Spoelstra in Miami, which is why LeBron left Miami. But outside of that, every coach he's ever had, anywhere he's ever played, he's wanted them gone. And almost every year he plays, you can see on the sidelines during timeouts, instead of the coach having the clipboard, LeBron has the clipboard because LeBron thinks what he says has to go all the time. They hired J.J. Redick only because LeBron wants a puppet. He wants somebody that's going to do what he says, and J.J. Redick will do that. And LeBron wanted his son. He knew J.J. would say, "Okay, LeBron, that's fine. We'll draft your son." And I feel bad for Bronny because he's terrible. He sucks out loud. He's awful. He's hideous. But he can't help who his daddy is. So now people are going to hate Bronny because he's awful and he's going to play in Los Angeles. So the eyes of the NBA universe are going to be on him, and he's going to stink up the joint because he sucks. But again, he can't help who his daddy is. The only team that would have drafted him was the Lakers because he averaged 4.5 points a game. He's terrible. Nobody else is going to waste a draft pick drafting somebody that averaged 4.5 points a game. So I feel bad for Bronny because he does suck, but it's not his fault who his daddy is. He can't help that. He didn't ask for that. It just happened. So this is going to be fun to watch the whole saga in Los Angeles because they are going to be absolutely terrible. I mean, they're going to be absolutely awful. Now you're going to have an awful, awful draft pick in Bronny James and J.J. Redick, who's going to be a complete clown show as the coach. But what are they going to do? Because this is what LeBron wanted. So even though LeBron wants this, when they suck next year, he's still going to come out and say, "I want this guy gone." Because if you recall, back when he played earlier in his Los Angeles career and his Cleveland years, some of them, he was able to put the team together and choose who he wanted on the team. And then when the team sucked, he wanted to blame the general manager, even though it was him that put the team together. So even though it's him that wants J.J. Redick, if they fail, believe me, it ain't going to be LeBron's fault. It's going to be the general manager's fault, the owner's fault, somebody's fault, but it won't be LeBron. But this should be a fun saga to watch as an outsider because the Lakers next year is going to be a complete clown show. How that franchise has stooped this low, I'll never understand. Any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. One of my kids was told in school to use the word bitter in a sentence. And he said, first, the dog barked at the cat, and then he bit her. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.